This episode of the Better To podcast is brought to you by Kitty Mystic and DM Needham, author of the Better To Burnout series, which includes her latest releases of Fairy Tales and I Love You and Is Love Just Another High. Hi gang, Donna here. Today I had the pleasure of sitting down with Cody Howell. Cody has a new song out called Any Way You Go, and we also talk about his forthcoming release. And we talk about Project K9, him working with Miss Dolly Parton and how that came about for her album Rockstar, because he does backing vocals on it. And we talk about just being creative. So stay tuned. Hi, Cody. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I am doing good. You just moved in. We were talking a little bit about that before, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. But it is a cool place where you moved to, and that's one thing we will mention. But you have a debut single out called Any Way You Go. But not only that, you're a backing vocalist on Miss Dolly Parton's new record, Rockstar.
I
had to say that had to be pretty cool to get that happening. So how did that come about?
So whenever I first got to Nashville, I was like meeting like everybody I could, trying to put out as many strings and to try to get my foot in the door. I got linked up with Kent Wells, and so we started to record a few songs on my songs. And the one that's released, Any Way You Go, we were in the studio 2 days prior to Dolly needing the background vocals or gang vocals or whatever. And we were recording the chant, Anywhere You Go, with my wife and some friends and stuff. So we were already doing some of the background chant vocals on my song. 2 days later, I get hit up. Hey, man, do you think you could swing by and do some of these same things? That's kind of how it worked. And I was like,
wow. Divine timing on that. So what songs did you sing backing vocals on?
So we got World on Fire, We Are the Champions / We Will Rock You, Purple Rain, which is my favorite. And then it's like two more. But I got to make sure I see the credits and stuff first.
I know,
so that I don't get it wrong. But I think it was either the Bygone song and one other, or Stephanie remembers.
It's okay.
So much stuff is happening.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, with the move and everything else, I mean, it must feel like, how do I say, a roller coaster? Because everything kind of is just taking off at this point.
It's just like, whoa, like so much freaking stuff happens in like the matter of 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, gosh, like I haven't even, other people have said, hey, like, wait, do you see what you're doing and stuff? I'm like, no, I haven't had time to like look at what I'm accomplishing or doing or any of that stuff. So,
well, that's usually the way it works, though. When you're in the thick of it, you can't see everything that's going on around you. You're just in it.
You're in there, yeah.
And I mean, whether it's good or bad, you're in it. You're living it, and everybody else is observing, and they're going, "Wow, look at this!" And you're kind of like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Hey, what are you talking about? We got stuff to do. Let's go. That's exactly, yeah.
So I know the single is out now. How is that doing? Is it doing well? Are you getting it well? Is it well received?
Yeah, we got it. So my publicist was able to get it on the New Music Friday and stuff on Spotify. And then dang it. See, I should know this off the top of my head. It's a playlist on Apple, I think, that it was good on. And then right now we're transitioning to the new song, but we're still making sure that this still has some good videos and stuff. It's a process, because before it was released, it was like 3 months of like getting everything together. Well, a month and a half, like 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, getting everything together to release that. And then it's like, by the time you release it, you're like, I am finally, yes. There's so much detail and stuff involved. Yeah.
And then everybody wants to go, hey, what's next? And you're like, I just did this.
I'm working on the next one. You just be patient. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's how the music industry has changed a lot, is because, it used to be you put an album out, you release some singles, everything's good, you can coast, you can tour. And now it's like, oh, you got a single out? Okay, that's great. It's great. For about a month and a half, it's great. Oh, wait, where's the next one? Where's the
And
next one?
right now, Christmas songs is going on. So you don't
Mhm.
want to release a song doing Christmas songs because unless you're releasing a Christmas song,
True.
so we have to wait for all that stuff to get done, and then it'll be like late January, early February will be the next one. But it's cool. I'm excited about this one. This might be the best song I've ever written. This next
Awesome.
one.
Awesome. And I will say, no offense, most artists always think it's that next pinnacle. The next one's even better than this one. And that's the way it grows though. That's how you expand your horizons as an artist.
That's true. That's
Because I
true.
mean,
It's like
go ahead.
someone asked me, what's the best song you wrote? I'm like, the last one that I wrote. Like that's where my mind's at. I'm like, this is cooler than the other one. And then it's just you didn't rock through life like that, I guess.
Well, and here's a question that somebody asked me recently, because they were talking about a musician that they had talked to or saw an interview with. And they were asking, because he's in the game like 30 years, and they're like, so what is, do you ever regret writing a song because you're still playing it now 30 years later? Because it's like your biggest hit. So do you really regret that song? Or does it do you ever even think about those things when you're writing a song? Is like, man, in 30 years I'm gonna have to still play this.
Well, I guess I haven't thought of that, but I've felt it like already, even with like, even doing Any Way You Go, like, because it's already writing it.
Hmm.
Your brain already goes way deep into writing it. So you already thousands of times over and over. Then you start to play it and practice it, and then you're playing it at least 1,000 times before you even show it to someone. Now you're playing it thousands of times at a show, and then now all of a sudden you're recording it, you're hearing it again. Then you get a little life back in you when you hear it being recorded because it's like, whoa, that sounds kind of cool. I like the way that guitar sounds, you know, and so you gotta get, but then all of a sudden now you're listening to it another dang freaking 500 times during the recording process to make sure all the little pieces are right and good. And uh then after that we're freaking going listening to the dang song again 1,000 more times in the release process. And it's like I'm like, I don't want to hear this song again. Like, you know what, screw this song, we're removing it, we're not doing this. No,
Yeah, but then that
it's
moment, that sweet moment of hearing it play on a radio or somebody talking
that
about it changes everything
that's
and it makes
cool.
it all worthwhile.
It does, because it was really cool whenever I'm able to say like, "Hey, well, I don't want to say her name or she'll turn on right now." If I say Alexa, yeah, say,
Yeah.
"Hey
Yeah.
Alexa, play Cody Howell." Okay, good. She didn't turn on, but anyhow, it's
I
kind
know.
of cool being able to say that and then it playing, and then yeah, you're going on the radio and then in the different spots, and it's like it's like, all right, okay, I think I did something right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's keep rocking. Yeah.
Now, let's get serious though for a second. So you
Hmm.
actually, before you got into music, you were in the Navy, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what made you decide to go into the Navy?
So I kind of my mom was like pretty patriotic and stuff, and I homeschooled and stuff. So like I was homeschooled growing up and everything, Constitution hung on the wall and everything like that. So I started getting into music when I was like 16, and then went to community college for a couple years for audio engineering. And coming out of that, I was like, and I had a little band, really really cool fellas and gals. And then I was like, okay, I'm either going to try to go to Nashville right now, or um, while I'm still young, give my time to the nation or whatever. So I was like, let me do this, you know. So it was just, I think it was ingrained in me, on the backside of my freaking skull,
Hmm.
from probably a lot from my mom. And then so I went in the military, and then I was just going to go in for like a 4 year, and then ended up being in there for 7 years. Anyhow, then I was like, nope, music is still calling me. The little lady in the wind is still like, Cody, you need to come do music, you know,
And see that
whatever it is.
when your muse speaks to you, you gotta follow it. Otherwise, you most likely for the rest of your life, if you would stay in the military, you would be wondering what if,
Yeah,
what if I didn't pursue this?
And I didn't want to have a little grandkid sit on my lap and me try to tell him, yeah, chase your dreams whenever I didn't.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I wouldn't, that would be hard to do.
there's something empowering about chasing your dreams, and it's rewarding every time, even though you may not always get everything you want. It's still the reward of, I actually did it. I didn't sit on my laurels and say, well, you know, I could have been. Well, no, you do it. You go after it. So
Yeah, I'd rather fall flat on my face trying to do it and everybody laugh at me versus not trying to do it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely. So you also work with Project K9. How did
mhm.
that come about?
I end up so Jason Johnson, Project Canine Hero. Awesome thing too for anybody listening. Check it out, projectcaninehero.org, I believe. Um, he I met him kind of whenever I first moved to Nashville. It was like maybe like in the first 3 months or so of moving to Nashville. I meet him and he had been in uh certain military stuff he had done, had lined up a little bit with some military stuff I had done. So he was like, oh, so we kind of hit it off. And then I was like, man, dude, this is really cool. What you're doing, because is what the nonprofit does is it takes care of all the not all like nine
Yeah.
a good chunk if almost all um the military working dogs and like first responder dogs after they get done with their service, there's no like retirement or necessarily something taking care of them. Normally the handler, if they can get them, it's up to whoever was their handler that takes care of all their medical bills and stuff like that. So what the nonprofit does is it ends up uh, making trying to make sure that the dog gets with the handler if that's possible, or rehome it to someone that is capable of taking care of the dog. Because it's not like you can just give the
No.
you know to so they take care of their medical bills, food for the entire rest of their lives, and um what else, and then they'll keep dogs at their compound, his compound in Whitwell, if in the process of, okay, wait, there's not a handler or we can't find a handler or whatnot, so they keep all those, and that's the gist of what they do, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. It's a spot that wasn't being taken care of, and Jason took care of it. This is really cool. you
And
know
sometimes people need to step up, because that is, a whole issue with these dogs are trained. And yeah, you can't just give them to a family and say, "Oh, here, take the puppy." No,
yeah,
it's not that simple. It's not that
yeah,
simple at all. So you were telling me a little bit about the place where you bought a house, how it has roots near somebody else's house.
yeah, this is kind of cool. Okay, so because I was just doing a podcast over there too, for Jack Bill. He set up a podcast. That's how I figured. Uh, so Johnny Cash's farm is like 3 miles up the road, and then I just bought a spot here, and then I guess I just found out Thomas Rhett owns all the land next to me, so I'm gonna have to try to meet Thomas Rhett first and try to convince him to sell me 20 acres of that land, and now I'm build a barn dominium on it. Watch, I'm gonna pull that off somehow, but I
You
gotta,
must.
you know,
So is there going to be a studio on the property as well?
yeah. Well, right now, okay, so there's a house, there's a shop, there's a little she shed, there's a little pond, little creek rolling through it and stuff. So it's like it's awesome, but it's a bunch of work, right now, because so I just redid the flooring inside the house, and then I still got to do trim, um, redo the outlets, just because some of them are kind of old, so I need to replace all those and stuff and get this spot looking pretty good. But this is just for maybe 2 years or a year, because I got to convince Thomas Rhett to let me buy 20 acres, and I'll build a big old barn dominium on that 20 acres. And then I'll have a little guest house here now and that. So there's my master plan. But I am going to steal some wood from Thomas Rhett. Yeah. Right across this fence, there's a little like shack looking thing.
Hmm.
And I need to build a bar in my shop and so that then we got a little bar for while we're playing and practicing music. And the shed's halfway falling down. I don't think he'll mind, but I'm gonna go take a few pieces of that wood.
You might want to ask first, just in case.
Well, I'll tell him later, be like, hey, man, I took like 2 or 3 pieces of wood off that old shack you had out there.
You just don't
Maybe
want
I
it.
won't.
I was gonna say you just don't want him to come along on a golf cart or a horse or
And
something
be
with a
like, hey,
shotgun
man,
saying, "What are you doing?
you stole my wood, old son.
Yeah, who are you and what are you doing on my property?" You don't want to meet your neighbor that way.
Nope. I met the other neighbor. He's a good fella. He's got a big old backhoe up there that he's clearing stuff out. I think he's gonna put some goats next to on this side of my house. But
Goats are
anyhow,
nice. I live in a small town, and when we first moved in, I live in a normal. I live in a newer neighborhood, but right outside was the person who originally owned this land. They thought it was going to be a tree farm, and somebody put a subdivision in, but they had goats. So behind my neighbor's house, we had goats. And one day I was out talking to my neighbor, and here comes a goat trucking down the street. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, I grew up with them, so it wasn't a big deal. But my neighbor was just like, "What in the world?" I'm like, "They live behind the house. What can I
just a
say?"
goat, and he
Yeah,
got loose somehow.
yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know it, but in our neighborhood, let's see, I've seen pheasants in my neighbor's
Hmm.
backyard, like 6 or 7 pheasants. We've had coyotes. So even though I live in basically a town that's built up, there's animals all over the place. So yeah.
It's good.
So I guess my question,
Nice.
let's see, the next question I have is, so when are you planning on going back into the studio to work on the album?
So I got there. We just have one more. So 3 of the songs are done. We got we got pretty much to just mix and master 3 more songs, and then there's only one more song that we really got to work on. And I still have to spend a little more time on it, and then make sure it's where I want it because it's cool. That song's called "Happy Heart," but I think it's just hearing it thousands of times over and over, and then you're like, wait a second, because I don't know, you then your brain or my brain, um, every single little tiny baby detail, I know it's there, and
Hmm.
when you first hear something you're missing, you're not aware that these little details are there.
Hmm.
Um, so I have to sit there and play it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So then I know every little detail of every spot and then make sure that it's telling the truth. That makes sense.
It
Make
does.
sure there's and so that's the only one I'm left working on right now. The other ones we have pretty much ready. Three of them are mastered. And this next song, Midwestern Pearl, is the title of it. Uh, it is we got it mixed in Atmos, or so it's like a spatial audio too. So you'll have the
Hmm.
stereo sound, but you'll also have the spatial. So like I don't know if you've known what that is or anything, but it's like while you're listening to it, you can turn your head and like the singer stays there, and like you turn your head and the guitar's over there. You can hear, it all stays there while you just got your headphones on. It's crazy. New technology is just like out of this world right now. But
It's
anyhow,
a
but
well, it's awesome though. I mean, because that gives the listener a whole different perspective, especially if you are a musician or a singer and you're trying to focus in on that person playing or singing, you can do so even better.
yeah, because you close your eyes and you kind of feel more like you're there. Because yeah, I mean, because it's there, and like if I'm sitting here turning my head now, I hear it more out of this ear. If I turn
Hmm.
this way now, and it stays there somehow. I don't know how it all works, but anyhow, we got that whole process and it mixed that way, so that's pretty cool. But Midwestern Pearl, that song is giving like a shout out back, like uh like Southern Belle,
Hmm.
like they call it, but what do the girls in the Midwest have a term? No. So we got to make them up a term now. They need some swag to rock with too. They need some they need to be able to be proud of, you know.
I, I'm originally from New Orleans, so technically I was a Southern Belle, but I've lived up here in the Midwest way longer than that.
Oh
So
yeah, so
yeah, we've never,
I'm
yeah, we
out.
don't have a term. It's just Midwest, and that's it. Although if
Yeah.
you talk to somebody from the South, Illinois is considered the North.
Well, even dude. Well, so wait, where are you at in where are you at in the Midwest?
I'm
In
in Illinois.
Illinois. Okay, so Kansas being in because a lot of the Midwest is like, is Kansas really the Midwest? I'm like, dude, freaking the South is like, nah, you're too north to be this. You know,
Yeah,
that's like you can't just. So I still say, oh, Kansas is the Midwest, and or the Heartland, whatever. But I mean, I'm on the edge of the Midwest, so I still feel it. But either way, I'm going to try to do my best to represent. For
fair
the
enough. Fair enough. So how many songs are going to be on the new record then?
seven,
Seven. Okay.
7 songs. Yeah.
So are you going to be doing videos for all of them? Or are you just going to release it all at once? Or are you going to, I mean, I guess the bigger thing is now because like Spotify, you're releasing singles every month. Are you just going to release all the singles and then release the album together finally? Or are you going to release a
Um,
couple of singles and then release the rest of it?
I think it's going to be release Midwestern Pearl, then figure out one more single to release, and then put the album out.
Nice.
I think that's that. And I'm going to try to get a lyric video for every single song because I think that's really cool. I hate that, like if you go on YouTube or something like that, and there's not at least something moving or a lyric video for the song because lyric videos are not too expensive to make and get done. So like, I don't know why, like everybody's doing it for every song because it seems like they don't care about the song if they don't put
It's
a
work.
lyric video.
It's work. It's work though, and they're on to the next thing. I mean,
Yeah, that's
with the
true.
high demand, unless
But then it
sometimes you.
doesn't feel like art.
I know.
It just feels
Well,
like you're just spitting out stuff. And I'm
but
like, it's like, wait, are you just doing business now, or are you actually like creating something into the world?
that's a tough question because
It's a deep question.
there are some artists that are strictly a commodity. I mean, how many boy bands? We'll just use boy bands for an example. Back in the day, that were
Yes.
put together to make money. I mean,
Yeah.
it started a long time ago with people just putting other people together to make money, and so there's still people that are in the entertainment industry for that reason.
But yeah, then it gets overwashed because the little business gremlins, they get their hands down there and everything with their boy bands and stuff. And then it's just like the songs are like watered down,
Well, and
you
here's
know?
something people have talked about recently is because everybody is lip syncing on TikTok or these new groups are lip syncing. Yet, and Milli Vanilli got a Grammy, and then they got exposed for lip syncing, and their
Yeah,
careers were
then it was like
done.
now it's normal.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's interesting how music has evolved in that kind of way because it's like before, oh my gosh, if you couldn't play and you couldn't sing, that was really bad. I mean, even CNC Music Factory had the issue with the singer that was in the video was not the singer who was singing. So there's always these little stories from back in the late 80s, early 90s. And now that's all commonplace. It's all
Yeah.
commonplace. It doesn't matter. If you want set dressing, take set dressing. It doesn't matter. Somebody else can lip sync it. It's all good.
That is what is the I think Saturday Night Live did a skit on that too or something where they had someone singing it and then I don't know. I don't remember it, but
But I mean,
I
yeah,
have one.
that's the thing. It's like the music industry has changed so much. So I know you're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm going to be redecorating my house. I'm going to be building this. I'm going to be doing that. But there's one thing we really haven't discussed, and I know that you're not going to be one of those artists that just puts music out and does and sits around and goes, well, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. You're going to actually go on tour, I'm sure, at some point.
Mhm.
So how is that going to affect your life if you're trying to rebuild your house and redo your house and everything?
I'll have this house stuff done in a couple months. I work fast and I work hard and work fast. I get this
Okay.
stuff done pretty quick. So yeah, people say stuff like that, but I just say watch,
Okay.
watch.
No, I mean, I'm
Easy
just
day.
asking
Yeah,
because I know, like we were talking about before, when you're going through everything, how
because
do
I
you find
got
enough hours in the day?
little sleep, I guess. I don't know, but this is what I did because I still got one more semester of college before I graduate music business from Belmont. So as this stuff is lining up and setting up right as I'm graduating college, I want to start getting on tour stuff and running. So like around what, May? I think May is the end. So around May, that's what I'm building for.
So are
Out of
you
that, this stuff. Go
so
ahead. Sorry.
you're already going to start booking your dates, even though they may not be announced, because you have to put all that stuff in advance, way in advance, to get that on the books. Correct?
Yeah, and then yes, and then also working to make sure you got it. You don't want to talk about it before you got it and before it's confirmed and before stuff's set in, because you talk about it before you got it, then somehow you jinx it, and then it, so there's that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then all the other things that can also change in
Hmm.
a lot of stuff can change in a month, a lot of stuff can change in, you know, 2 3 months, so
Yeah.
it's like trying to work it all efficiently through, and then and also see how well the traction of the other two single releases go, because they may end up popping, or getting stuff rolling in a better way, that you don't want to plan too early, you don't want to plan too late. So
No.
you just gotta stay on it, man. You like, while the momentum's going, there's not sleep time, you
No.
know.
Well, and I have to applaud you for taking and getting a degree in business for the music business, because the whole thing about it is there's so many artists that don't know that end and then get taken advantage of. So
Yeah.
it's smart. I mean, when I interviewed Ricky Duran from The Voice, he talked about how Blake told him, "You don't want to win. You don't want to win because then you're locked into a contract, and they're going to keep you from doing what you really want to do."
Ooh. Yeah.
And the thing is, nobody looks at those things, and when you're getting into a contract in the music business, you're if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose your creative control, and you don't
You
want to
know
do
what
that.
each clause is, and all. Yeah.
It goes back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago about becoming a commodity. Instead of being the artist, you become a commodity, and somebody tells you,
hmm
okay, you're going to dress like this, you're going to sing about this, you're going to talk about this, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah. And now you're here singing a song that's like, well, we hop in our trucks and drive down the road. Got my girl in a shotgun seat. And it's like, ah,
Yeah, I mean,
okay. You know,
you have to do something that resonates with you, and if you don't have control over your career, you can't do that.
yeah, no. And I feel like if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in my life, um, the muse, or however, I don't know what you call it. I
Yes.
just call her the lady in the wind. I'm like, which pretty much just means an idea.
Hmm.
Whenever the ideas pop in, because it just seems like sometimes they just flow in at random times. So I'm like, oh, the lady in the wind's talking to me now. But
Yeah.
it's I feel like a lot of my ideas, the ones that I grab onto, I'm like, nope, I need to do that. It's not a want to do it. It's not maybe should do it, or it's like the ones that are really good. It's like something in me says, no, you need to do this.
Hmm.
So then I'm like, okay, let me chase this one down. Let me get this one, and then because a lot of times, because it's like, okay, wait, this needs to be out there or something, because and some of the other songs, like some people are going through different stuff, some people are need some, and it's just this. It's the same thing that music did for me growing up, and then I'm like, let me fill the other spots that aren't hit.
So when a song comes to you, I mean, I know about the music. I'm a writer, so I get it. Yeah, and it could be 3 o'clock in the morning, and hi, I got an idea for you, and you're like,
hmm
what? But anyway, so when you sit down, is it the guitar or the lyrics that come to mind first? I mean, what is it? The melody? Is it the music? Is it the lyrics? What usually hits for you first when you're starting to write a song?
Um, it's probably good actually, because I've been asked that question a lot, and it's all comes from different. Every song's different on that. But I'll say this that I just realized. Um, a lot of times it starts with like a very vivid mood, or like it's like whatever my brain's thinking or imagining is like super clear. And it does. So sometimes it starts with a line or a word, and then I pick the guitar up and play to it. Sometimes I'm in the mood and I just start playing the guitar, not even thinking of words. And then that I'm like, man, it sounds really good. And then words come later. But I think it all starts with being in the moment in my head.
No, I
That's the
get it.
best way
No,
I can
no,
say it,
that's
I
it. No, that's
guess.
a great because I mean, I didn't expect you to say it's all this way. I didn't expect that. I expected it to be a very diverse answer. And so this also leads me
Mhm.
to a question of what do you think your 16-year-old self would say, the one that decided, hey, I'm going to pursue music
Mm.
to where you are right now in this moment?
My 16-year-old self probably be like, you haven't, you've had, 'cause I'm 31 now. So what is that, 15 years later?
Yeah.
You've had 15 years and this is all you've got done. That's probably what my 16-year-old self would be saying, but I'm not sure though.
I don't know. I mean,
Dang.
I'm thinking the 16-year-old thinking that you are living by Johnny Cash's place would think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe, maybe that would. It's hard because I haven't had time to see myself outside of myself.
Like,
You know what I'm
I know,
saying?
I know.
I haven't had time to like look back and see if what I'm even doing is good, Like
Hmm.
there's sometimes I'm like, wait, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was good. Okay, but so thinking what my if I was 16 years old looking at myself, man, that's a hard one. I gotta shift some things around in my head in order to see that perspective.
Well, and I
Man, that's
mean,
crazy. That's good.
well, that's the thing though. It's like we don't look at ourselves. We just keep going and going and going. And it's like I know that if I went back and told my 16-year-old self all the things I've done, she would look at me and go, "Yeah, right. You're lying to me." Lying, and I'd be like, "No, I'm not." But the whole thing is, ourselves, we didn't have the comprehension to think that we could necessarily do everything we set out to do.
Yeah.
No matter how we thought we knew it all, we never really totally believed that, yeah, I can do this, you
Yeah, I
know?
guess saying it like that, I think there's a few things to yeah, I think my 16-year-old self would be proud of then, I think. Because there's a few things I've done that I shouldn't have been able to even do.
Uh-huh.
And then somehow I did them.
Hmm.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, and that's when you realize that you are capable of doing those things and you surpass your wildest dreams and you keep building on that dream because the dream constantly changes. Once you've achieved one mark, it's going to continually change. So
Mhm.
and the thing is, and this is as a creative, I think, number one, we are our own worst critic 95% of the time. And number two, it's like we never take a moment and turn around and look at our accomplishments. We just keep going to the next thing. It's like, okay, I gotta move on to this. I gotta do the next thing. Even though I should be turning around going, look at all that you've actually done.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's because you're trying to ride the momentum and keep stuff. And
Hmm.
it's like, yeah, that's very, yeah.
I don't
Yeah, but how do you stop in the middle and take a moment to look at what you've done?
well and then
How do
and
you switch your brain like that?
Well, and it's not only that, then you also have to worry about your ego kicking in because, you know, you don't want to you don't want to turn around and go, look what I've done, because somebody's going to look at you and go, wow, are you egotistical? I mean, because we're so used to self-deprecation of, this is not good. I don't care how many people tell you your song is great. You're still in the back of your head going, I could have just tweaked it
This
just
one
a
little
little.
part. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I should have made a slightly different tone on
Yeah.
this part because I feel like I lost the audience. But if I
Yeah.
said it like this,
And
yeah.
nobody knows. I mean, and I've talked about this before. I used to play bass, and I was in a talent show, and I played the wrong note. It was in the same arpeggio. Nobody knew, but I knew, and that was just devastating. That I screwed up. It's like, really? It's not that big a deal. My bandmates did not even know, but me, it was the end of the world.
Yeah, you're right. But I messed up that way.
Exactly. It's like, come on, I don't want to. So
uh,
it's an interesting thing when you look at being creative and how we don't necessarily turn around and look at what our accomplishments are. I mean,
mhm.
yeah, okay, yes, you got your song out, it's great, but you keep going. It's like, okay, now I'm on to the Midwest, and now I'm on to this, and now I'm going to be touring, and now we never allow ourselves to take that moment and breathe.
And then the other time is like, oh wait, nope, got this homeschool or got homework to do. Got to do, finish the trim in this house. I got yeah, this is I'm rabbit trailing, but my buddy, he made a freaking he's been logging some of his land, and he made a bandsaw for cutting the wood out of a
Mhm.
motorcycle. So I'm like, dude, I needed to get some trim in my house. So I either go to Lowe's and spend $500,000 on trim, or maybe $2,000. I don't know. I haven't priced it all out. Or I go help him log for a day
Yeah.
using his little motorcycle to cut it, and then I get myself some wood. So I think I'm going to do that because that sounds like a better venture. But anyhow, I'm rabbit trailing. But it goes in the same process as like
Right.
I don't there's always something else going, something else running, something else, some other type of work stuff to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really cool. Last night. I was sitting. own a bridge now. That's pretty cool. I never owned a bridge
Bridge.
because it's on my property.
Okay. Okay.
So the stream that
Uh-huh.
goes through the property, there's a bridge over it, which is a pretty hefty bridge. The beams are like this big running underneath it. It's
Uh-huh.
like it's a good bridge. I sat underneath the bridge and just looked at it last night for like 15 or 20 minutes, just like, dang, that's pretty cool. I own a
Yes.
bridge, and this is a dang good bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was my little tiny amount of reflection time, I guess.
But you need to take that. But what you said is a very valid point, because as a creative, you may want to go write a song, but oh, I got to be in class. Oh, or I
Mhm.
got to do this homework, and it's like or wait, I have to have a family life, or I have to have some downtime with friends. You know, we don't, as creatives, it's hard to really grasp that at times, because it's like, I want to be creative, I want to write, and I have to say, for me personally, the best invention I have is my phone, because I can hit that record button and talk what I need to talk out and get back to it later.
Yeah,
But it's the creative process will come at any point, and it's tough to maintain the balance of everything at times, I think.
yeah, and then too, if you're on a good like roll, you got too many ideas spitting out. You're jotting down, then you never even are able to get back to one of them, and then you forget them.
Hmm.
But you wrote them down, so you might see them whenever
Yeah,
a
but
half a year later when you go look through your ideas, you might see them be like, "Oh, that was a good idea," But
or you go back and look at it and go, what is this?
what was I even thinking? What was my brain thinking? Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, so it's like there's just so, and it's hard to explain to somebody that's not creative. They don't get it. They just kind of look at you like you're an alien, because you're explaining out exactly what you're thinking in the process, especially, being the writer. It's like, I have these plot ideas and people look at me like, what? How?
what?
What? I don't. Mm. And you're just like,
They
okay,
don't
no,
see. They don't see the vision.
no, no.
You see it in your head.
And I'm sure
You're
you
like,
when
"What?
you
How do you not get this? You can't see it."
I'm sure
It's
when
like,
you sit down with a producer, it's the same thing. You bring your vision in, and if they don't get it, you're sitting there
Mhm.
going, but it's like, if we could play it this way, and they're like, it's not going to work that way. But you're like, if you play it this way,
It
I mean,
is
how is it working with your producer?
awesome. And like so normally whenever I have brought a song or something in before, it's like I'll get a few different um I'll have just like a rough recording of me playing it with the guitar, and then boom, there's a song. And then I'll bring in like little aspects of ideas. So like oh wait, and then like the sound of this steel guitar on this other song, can we get like so and not the same tune or anything, but like you know
The sound equivalent.
this the sound, yeah, where it's like distant, and the sounds like it's like flowing through the hills or something, different stuff like that, like and so I'll bring some type of kind of ideas or vibes in like that, and say, okay, listen to this, and then here for maybe the guitar on this, and then he tosses his ideas and whatnot, and then it's like it's so cool working with Kent, man, because he's like then we set a date because that would be pre-production. Then we set a date for getting it, and everybody comes in, and dude can't just like mastermind composes the whole thing, and it's like it's really cool to see. Like if you ever if you're ever in Nashville, hit me up. I don't know if I'll be recording a song at the time, but I might be like, hey, all right, swing in here and just. But
So
it's one of the coolest things.
I can
It
imagine.
makes you, and you get respect real fast for not just Kent producing it, but you get respect for all the musicians because their fingers are sliding in perfect, like and within my like within a tenth or 20th of a second, they're right on. Like it's like magic, man. It's like, how are you even doing that? It's like it's incredible.
Do you have your own band now, or are you using session musicians?
I so I have a band in kind of the Dixon Lyles area, and then I have a band that we're about to start getting together up in the Nashville area, and then I play on TV on today in Nashville on the 27th. But
Nice.
that's gonna be Kent's band guys, the same guys that played on the album. So, but kind of right now, I got a band here and then a band all the way in Nashville. But we're building that one right now.
So
But
recording mainly as session players, which isn't it's not
yes,
unusual. It's not unusual at all, especially for somebody that's new.
yes.
So who who is your biggest influence, do you think, as a musician and singer?
Zane Williams.
Okay.
He did his solo stuff for a while. He's a Texas country artist, and then now he does he started a band called the Wilder Blue, and yeah, man, I don't know. I just like his style, and he's really good at lyrics and writing songs, and it's just and I've met him a few times. Just true guy, It's hard to come across people like that, I guess, And I think he's, you know, that's my biggest influence. I'd say so, Or
What is your biggest goal as a musician singer? What I mean, what would be the holy grail for you as a
mm,
performer?
I don't know. There's different ways I could think about that.
Well, you don't have to give just one answer. I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna give you a few different options.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay. So one of my brain parts, whatever I'm saying, I'm just gonna try to say it the best way I can. One of the things in my head doesn't want me to think about that because I want to let the adventure build itself and life build itself,
Fair enough.
you know. And I'm like, because I don't. If I think one thing, I might be limiting myself.
Fair
And
enough.
as an artist, you're not supposed to limit anything. So, uh, so there's kind of where my brain's at on that. But if I wanted to be like, oh man, would I be really proud? Is that what you're saying? Like, would I?
Yeah, I
What
mean,
would
for
I?
some people, well, for some people that I've interviewed before, I think it was Peyton Howie who said her biggest deal would be to play the Grand Ole Opry.
I think I want to play Red Rocks.
Okay.
That at some point that would be really cool. Um, yeah, like play Red Rocks or play in a freaking cavern or something. There's a place in a cavern. I just go with what seems cool. Grand Ole Opry is cool. Um, but I don't know if that would be like
The Holy Grail for you.
the Holy Grail. Yeah, for
Well,
me.
and I
Like
mean, here,
I feel like my Holy Grail would be like a something kind of half dumb and half really simple that would not mean anything to no one else. But for me, I'd be like, this is so cool,
but see,
And it'd be
that's
like
the
freaking
yeah.
playing in a cavern or something. I'd be like, whoa, can you hear echo off this and this and and then my brain would just
That's a true musician
But
though, because it's not so much about the accolades for you, it's about the music, about the sound of the music and how it comes across in that cavern. It's not about you. I mean, when you think of the Grand Ole Opry, that is about a pinnacle, an achievement, a certain level of success.
mm,
You have to
no,
have
I
that.
want to hear. I
Right.
want to play in a spot or play in something where the sound is like woo, and it just gets in your freaking bones, and you're just like, ah, dude, that's
So
it, baby,
so it,
that's it. That's
you
what That's
you
where
you want something that is a spiritual experience, something that is,
sort of, yeah, I guess
yeah,
so.
that
Just rocks your
invade your
bones just
soul and
inside.
your and hit your bones and
Yeah,
invade your soul and just enlightens you in a different way, I guess.
yeah, like you feel like you're about to just lift up off the ground and start flying, and you're like, that is it, that's whatever the it thing is that people talk about. That's just good, you know. That's where, like, yeah, that's where, and I don't know what it will be, because it could
Mm.
be, it could be in the freaking backyard of somebody's house, I don't, but that moment, that, yeah, spiritual type thing, is where I think that's where, like, that's why I can't write it. I can't think,
Right, no, I get it. I
but
mean,
I think that's why I like would want to play at Red Rocks, because I haven't heard it or anything, but it seems like there's going to be some really cool sound there.
I've heard it's I've never been, but I've heard it's an amazing venue to play. And you know, from what I've heard from a couple of friends that have gone, it is kind of a spiritual experience to be there, watching somebody play, because you're in nature and there is the sound
Hmm.
quality and everything is just there for you. Um, the one thing, there's the whole other component too about Red Rocks. I mean, I know while playing in a cavern would be awesome, and the audience is also a whole nother energy level for you though, because the energy you're going to be feeding off the audience and then, vice versa, that's a whole nother level of performing.
Hmm.
So
Sometimes,
go ahead.
oh yes, because sometimes the audience feeds you energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes when you're getting into it, it's like the audience doesn't even exist at that point.
Yeah.
You're in the world of what the song is and what you're talking about. And, like, I feel like that's the best show whenever my brain goes there. But you can't just snap it on like a freaking light switch. Like,
No,
you play monkey, play monkey. No, you can't.
no.
It's like, give me a second, let me work my brain into this, and then I'll give you a really good show, versus if you just want me to play right now, well, I'm just gonna be singing. But anyhow.
But that's a bigger thing too when you think about it, is like as your career goes, that is something that you have to learn how to master the monkey mind, because as much as you want to be in that zone and you want to constantly be in that zone, there's those moments where you have to say, hi Tennessee, or hi Memphis, how are you doing, those
Yeah.
moments where you have to talk to the audience. So it's like you have to be able to get out of that, pull yourself back for just that few minutes before you go back into that zone. So
Yeah,
there
rock
comes
on the.
right, there comes that balance
Yeah,
where you have to learn how
that's true.
to move your energy.
Hmm. That's true.
And I can only imagine being on. I had a moment once when I was in a skybox and I was at a concert and they backlit the audience, and the stage was dark and the audience was lit up, and it was like I was on stage for a second. And there is that, I mean, they were singing along, of course, and there's that moment of wow, to have that power of being up on stage and to have people singing your song. Have you had that experience yet fully?
Um, Probably not fully, but somewhat. Like, or even like Whiskey Jam was a good one. Um, that's fun, where they were like shouting back lyrics of my song.
Hmm.
Um, and then I think it's you kind of know you're doing something right there for a second, when, like, you know like the chatters, or the different, uh what's the right way to say it, people will turn and start zoning in.
Hmm.
Oh, this is a moment, I'm watching this, and you can kind of see that while you're playing and getting into it, like if people are locked in 100% on you, or if you
Well,
know
and
but
that's gonna affect your playing and your whole vibe. I mean, unless you're zoning out, it's gonna affect you. If you're somewhere and people are suddenly doing this and you're playing,
yeah,
it's gonna
then
be
you're
like,
like, wait, I might as well just try to get this show done and go
yeah,
home. And
yeah.
I will, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
because yeah,
that's got to be disheartening when that happens. Or do you just keep
Mm,
playing and just ignore it and just say, okay, it's a rehearsal?
I'd play better.
Okay.
Play better because if I'm not doing if someone's trying to look at their phone instead of watch the show, that means I'm not probably doing it. So I want to be good enough that makes you go. And then now you're just watching because it's that good of a show. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
whatever's going on your phone, this is way cooler. That's how good
I
I
get
want
it.
to try to. I want to make a moment. And that's the difference between, I guess, artist and performer. So you got your different artistry where you're making up a song or a vision or imaginative, like boom, and then you
Right.
can other people can see. So that's the artistry. Whenever now you're doing the performing, you have in this same thing you're saying, you can't just go into mood. You still have to engage with the audience and stuff like that. So for I want my artistry. Hopefully I'm using these words like I
Yeah,
don't even know if artistry is the right word. I'm just
that's
making
fine.
up stuff now.
That's
But
fine.
uh the song, the way I sing it and all that stuff, hopefully that's good to stand on its own. Now I have to do the performance part to make sure that all of those come together. And if I do all that right, ain't no one looking at their phone. They're like, whoa, this is cooler than something I'm going to see on my phone.
Or they now have their phone up taking video of
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, whoa, this is so
it.
cool. I need a video of this guy right now. Yeah.
I mean, that's the weird thing. It's like, yeah, before people used to
I'm going
just
to show
watch
my
the
mama.
concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just watch the concert. No, I'm going to film it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I like,
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, that's a little note while I'm up there performing or playing, like, oh, I must be doing something all right. You know, must be doing something good because, got more people looking or videoing or.
So, what does it feel like if you perform a show and then suddenly on Instagram you're getting a hashtag or tagged in it? That must feel pretty good. Like you did your job.
Uh yeah, but it also it's hard to watch
Yeah.
the videos and stuff because then my brain goes into over critiquing a lot of
Uh-huh.
times.
Oh, I figured that. I figured
Yeah.
that's why I asked because it's like
So
you're
a
sitting
lot of
there in
times
that
I
moment thinking, "Oh, this is great," and then as soon as your hashtag's like, "Wait a second, I could have done this better. I could have."
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, so it's cool when people tag me and stuff, and then I get to see a video back, but I'll just kind of watch like maybe 15 seconds of the video or 5 seconds of the video, and then be like, okay, that was good enough. I'm on to the next thing now.
I mean, you hear from actors that they don't like watching. Johnny Depp is one of them that says he has never seen his own
Yeah,
movies because you do as a creative, you start picking everything apart. And I don't
yeah.
know what that is, why we do it. It's just we start over analyzing. It's like, okay, you just need to enjoy that moment. So it's been a pleasure talking to you. Is there anything that we did not discuss that you would like to mention?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I guess if
No,
you don't
I
know,
don't know.
there's
I think
nothing
I
we
think
have
we're
to.
good. Yeah.
So you're single anyway you
Oh
go
wait, here we
is
go. Here I'll say
okay.
this one.
Okay.
Here's the t-shirt I got for Anyway You Go. It's just
Okay.
like a truck backed up to a bonfire, you
Okay.
know. Anyhow, they're on my website. You
Okay.
can go on to order one and buy one if you want to.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
And
And
the song is out on all the platforms that you can download and listen to. And
yes.
I thank you, Cody, for coming on.
Oh yeah. And there is a lyric video on YouTube too, which with some cool bonfire footage in there. But yes, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So Cody and I had a great conversation. I think he's a ball of energy and I can understand what he's talking about wanting that spiritual moment of the music invading you and it's purely about the music, the sound, and not every person listens to music that way. Sometimes we listen to music and we just listen to music. We just do it for pleasure. But there's other people in the world that actually listen to the music and feel it and, resonate with it. And so I think that him talking about his passion for it, it shows, how he's going to grow as an artist, that the music matters to him. It's not something that's just going to be fly by night. He's serious. He wants to create something that's going to resonate with somebody deep in their soul. So hopefully, he's going to have a great career ahead of him. And I think that he's got the motivation, he's got the talent, and he's got the energy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and you can donate to Project K9 as well as check out his t-shirts on his website. All those links are in the show notes. And yeah, as always, Rich Zai from Third Year Audio does the sound. And this season's going to be a little shorter. I think we have 2 more episodes to wrap up the season. And starting in January, we're going to have some changes for the format of the show. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And whenever you listen to it, it was just a fun show. So I hope you enjoy it. And I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye. The Better 2 podcast is mixed, edited, and produced by Rich Zai of Third Year Audio Productions.